Hello.
Hello. How are
How
you?
I'm okay. How about you?
Good, thank you. So my name is Erica. Are you Hamza?
Yes, I am. And actually, I saw your message, and I typed something but I forgot send it to you.
Okay. Well, just know that I'm flying blind for this hour, so hopefully you have an idea of what you'd like to do for this class.
Yeah, I think I will.
Very
I will learn
good.
this lesson. And
Sure.
let me introduce myself first of all. My name's Hamza. I'm from Turkey, and I'm a nurse,
Mhm.
and I am also a student at a college. And I want to be an anesthetist. That's why I am at the college.
Did you say
Um,
anesthetist?
yes,
Okay, so like anesthesiology.
anesthesiologist, maybe I
Okay.
can say maybe. I've been learning English for 10 months, maybe 11
Mhm.
months. I'm not sure of it.
Okay.
And first of all, my first goal of learning English is uh, improve myself, right? For example,
Okay.
when I meet any people who was from another country, I wanna communicate with other countries' people. That's
Yeah.
why I need English. For
Mhm.
example, as I said, I'm a nurse, and
Yeah.
I had a patient last month, last week. I had a patient who knows English,
Mhm.
and everybody didn't communicate with her, and
Mm.
I communicate with her, and I handled her all problems, and that's why I felt very happy, and I felt helpful person.
Right.
And because of my job, I want to learn English because in the future I might go to another country
Right.
for my job. Maybe I can work in another country. It's
Sure.
possible. It depends
Yeah.
on the situation. Maybe. That's why I need to learn English
Okay.
for all these reasons.
Sure. And how far are you into school for anesthesiology? How many more years do you have left?
Uh, 2 years has left.
Okay, it's not that much. Very
Yeah,
good.
but it is difficult because uh, I have to work for over 50 hours approximately,
Hmm.
and I have to go to school at the same time,
Mm.
and very tiring
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
for me.
Definitely. So you're very committed to your goal then. That's what that tells me. Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Please go on. I'm sorry for interrupting you.
no, no, it's fine. I was just gonna say, so what made you decide to be an anesthesiologist? Like, what made you decide to do that after becoming a nurse? Was it always the
It is
plan, or did you
clear.
decide after?
No, no. It is clear because it is obvious actually for me because
Mm.
being a nurse very difficult in Turkey. You have to deal with many problems at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
You are not a nurse, right? You are
Mm-hmm.
not only a nurse. You are also maybe you have to do other stuffs. You have to do other stuff, right? Maybe I can correct the sentence.
Yeah, that's
You
right.
have to do other stuffs, other kind of stuff, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And for example, I work for sometimes I work for 24 hours,
Mm-hmm.
and uh, people don't respect this job in Turkey,
Mm.
unfortunately. And maybe it might be same other for other countries. I don't know how the
Mm.
situation in there, but the situation is like this in Turkey, and I want to improve myself That's why this is not possible as a nurse.
So you feel like nurses aren't treated with much respect in the hospital, or do you feel like nurses aren't treated with much respect outside of the hospital as well? Like it's not really a profession that people look to as being good or important?
Yeah. Shortly, yes.
Okay. I think there's always that dynamic in a hospital between doctors and nurses where doctors feel like they are of this like higher status than a nurse, and that, you know, you're the nurse, so I'm going to make you do all the difficult things or all the nasty things that I don't want to do, right? I think that's very common here in the US anyways. But as far as like respect in society here in America, nurses are very highly respected. Like in general, in the culture, people really respect nurses because we know that nurses work harder than doctors.
Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah,
Very
my aunt was a nurse actually. She was an operating room nurse. So yeah.
There would not be working without nursing.
Yeah,
Without all
no.
nurses.
No, exactly. And sometimes nurses have more specialization because they see certain patients more closely and they spend more time with them. So even though a doctor might be a specialist in something, if that nurse works in that same area, they often have more like common knowledge or like more specific knowledge about that disease or about that issue and how it works and how the medicine works and the impact it'll have on the patient and all of these things, because they have to communicate this to the patients often.
Yeah, you have a point about that, because doctors have a circulation. How could you say? They circulate. They are circulated all the time.
Sure, yeah.
All doctors circulated all the time. They don't work same area every time, but nurses work same area for a long time.
Sure.
That's why nurses know their patients and some drugs features. That's why being doctor, how can I say? How could you say? How could I say to you? And unfortunately, I'm so sad about this issue in Turkey, and the problem should be correct.
Yeah, I totally think that's the case. And I think that like as an anesthesiologist, it's kind of interesting career path for you to go from being a nurse to an anesthesiologist, because you go from one of the least respected positions in the hospital to the most respected position in the hospital. So it will be quite interesting to see how your experience kind of changes the culture in the hospital that you work at, because obviously your respect level for nurses will be much higher than, say, someone who has never worked in this profession, right?
Yeah, you're right. Actually, honestly, I want to work in another country. Maybe Germany. Maybe if I have a chance, I want to go to US.
Yeah.
To work in there. That's why I need to improve in my job, in my field. Now I only focus on my job and English.
Oh, that's good. And I think I think as you complete your studies too, the knowledge that you're gaining in your studies, you're going to be able to use some of that knowledge even to apply to nursing in the meantime, right?
Yeah,
maybe.
In the future, do you think that can I communicate with patients in US?
Yeah, Of course. Why would you ask? Of course, you'd be fine to communicate with patients in the US. The key thing is the terminology, right? So it's knowing the terminology, and that's the trickier thing, which is why a lot of doctors decide to complete a year of study or complete like 2 years of study to transfer their credentials to the US, because then you get a residency and you have the experience of talking to patients directly and working in a hospital setting. And I think that's what a lot of people do when they're trying to move here to the US to work. I have a number of students that are doctors that are now in the US that are, you know, practicing their English still because they're talking to patients often.
How am I doing until here?
I mean, I think you're doing quite well in terms of your English. I haven't seen any like major mistakes that I'm like, oh, you got to correct that. You know, it's just like very minor little things, maybe adding an S here or there, maybe a preposition here or there, but otherwise it's good.
How's the pronunciation?
I mean, you don't sound like a native speaker, but your pronunciation is clear. I don't think anyone would have a difficult time understanding you in terms of your accent. So I wouldn't worry about that too much.
Yeah, I don't need to focus on pronunciation. But in the future, maybe I need to focus on pronunciation. Right now, I don't need to focus on pronunciation.
No. I wouldn't say so. And I think the other thing is there's a lot of accents like in other countries, like in the US or in Canada or in England. I mean, there's a lot of different accents. Yeah, Australia. So I wouldn't worry too much about it because like your accent is quite mild. There's no interference of your accent with the meaning or understanding of what you're saying, which is the key.
Actually, as I said, I've been learning English for 9 months, 10 months, maybe 11 months. But I want to continue learning English at least for 2 years on Cambly. At the beginning, at the end of this process, I think I'll speak English fluently, and hopefully I'll be waiting. I'll be waiting for that time.
Yeah, and I think that'll be good. And I wouldn't stress about it because I think you're on your way.
And before we start, I have a link, by the way. I'll share it with you. I'll share it to you. And before we start, I wanna share my fourth video on YouTube, first video on Engo. Okay, let me share it. This video was 9.5 months ago.
Okay. Hello.
Hello.
How are you today?
Fine. Where are what? Sorry.
It's okay. I'm good, thank you. Very good. What is your name?
My name is Hamza.
Hamza.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
And where are you from, Hamza?
I am from Turkey. You?
Turkey. My name's Laura.
Nice to meet you.
You too. And
yeah, it's a big difference.
I bet feel. I bet feel başarısız. I don't worry.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Big difference. Big difference. You've come a long way. How often do you speak? How often are you on Cambly or on other platforms?
I only use Cambly to learn English 5 days a week for 1 hour.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Is it enough to learn English?
I think so. I think what it comes down to though is how quickly you want to learn and how fast you want to be at that fluency level you want to be at. Because I have some students who are 5 days a week, 1 hour, and then they have a second account 5 days a week, 1 hour. So they talk 2 hours per day.
Wow.
So, and a lot of students who want to learn, like, okay, I have 3 months to learn. Okay, well, if you only have 3 or 6 months to learn, then yes, this is a good idea, because you're not going to be fluent in that time with talking 15 minutes a day or, something like that. So I think that's the key, is, when you want your deadline to be, when you want to be at that certain level of proficiency.
If I have a more time to use Cambly, I would use Cambly for 2 hours a day.
But I know with working 50 hours and with school, probably not very realistic. But one of the things you might be able to do while you're studying is watch like TV series or have like a podcast going or something, so you're being exposed to the language.
Yeah. I should use them. I should watch them actually. And generally I try to follow them. By the way, I send it to you. I send it to link.
Okay.
I was going to ask you one question, but I forget what I asked you.
It's okay. It will come back to you. All right. Phrasal verbs. All right. Do you want to screen share?
Do you have another reservation after me?
I do, yes.
Okay. That's why I asked you. I have right now I have 1 hour and over half minutes. And if you have a time, we can continue.
I do have someone right after you. I'm fully booked today. I usually am on the weekends.
Okay. We can use these minutes.
Unless they cancel. If they cancel, then that's different. But
okay.
Okay.
Honestly, I didn't study these works.
That's okay.
These phrasal verbs before the lesson.
No problem. We can learn them together.
I was in the outside, my colleagues.
Yeah, we can learn them together. Why not? All right. So let's start with this vocabulary, and then we can discuss some examples.
Okay. Eat out. Eat out means to have a meal in a restaurant. For example, I'm a little bit lazy, and I wanted to say yesterday about me. Yesterday I felt a little bit lazy, and I wanted to eat out at a restaurant.
Yeah.
In general, I prefer takeaway.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of people eat out at the restaurants, right?
But unhealthy.
It can be. It depends on what you're eating, right?
Go ahead to proceed with something. For example, you are saying some things to me, and I interrupt what you're saying.
Oh no.
And no, just example. And I said to you, please, I'm sorry, go ahead, go on.
Yep, that's one way you can do it.
Yeah. Or I strict, what was the word? Strict out. No, strict with. Strict with? Is there a word like strict with? Phrasal verb.
I don't think so. I'm not sure. Do you want to type it?
Let me look for it. Okay, let me look it on my phone.
No problem.
Actually, I wonder it.
Yeah, now it's going to bother you, right? Unless you look it up. That happens to me too.
to proceed with something, right? To continue.
Yeah,
Continue.
we often use this sentence, this let's go ahead with the plan. Let's see what their other examples are. That's a good one.
I'll be home late tonight, so go ahead and eat on your own. Yeah. Okay. Hang around. To wait or stay at a certain place without doing much. To wait or stay. I was just hanging around the park waiting for him to show up. Yeah, for example, I have it. It's just an example. I have a date with someone, with only one, and when I waiting her, and I can say about this date an example. I was hanging around at the restaurant waiting for her to how could you say this?
To finish work? Like, was she working, or you were hanging around her place of work until she finished? So that's often what we say when we're waiting for someone. Usually we use this term when we're talking about waiting.
Yeah, waiting for her to see.
Waiting to see her? Yeah.
Waiting to see her, yes.
Yeah, so you could say I was just hanging around outside until she was free, or I was, yeah, something like that. That would work.
Okay. Turn up. To arrive at a place, especially unexpectedly or after some time. Okay. She turned up with a stack of presents. What is stack of stack?
Stack is like a stack of pancakes, or a stack of books. So it's usually when you have multiple things stacked on top of each other.
Okay. Could you tell me more about turn up?
So turn up is kind of interesting. We've got a lot of phrasal verbs in English that actually we've turned into slang. So turn up means something else as well. So with turn up, it's usually like if something's like missing, we often use this one and say, don't worry, that'll turn up soon. Like it'll show up soon. So we often use turn up and show up kind of interchangeably as a phrasal verb. But we also use this phrasal verb in slang when we're talking about like we actually use like turned up. So I was turned up last night. Or the party was turned up. So basically it means like that it was really like a huge party. It was a lot of fun. When you say that you were turned up, it usually means that you were drunk, or you know, you were having a good time. So we use this phrasal verb in slang as well. So something, yeah. So if somebody said, "Oh man, I was so turned up the other night," it doesn't mean they were lost and then they were found. It means that they actually had a really great time. They were really drunk probably. But I think it's important for you to know that, because sometimes when you watch TV series or movies, they use this kind of language and slang, and people are like, I don't get it. I don't understand.
Actually, as appearance, right? Maybe.
Pardon?
There's a word, but I forget. Anyway, it's not.
It's all good. It'll come back.
But yeah, I understand what you say. But phrasal verbs are a little bit confused, right?
Yeah,
That's why
definitely.
I need to observe them.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those things you kind of have to like memorize. So like in the second example, I think this is a good example. Like you'll never guess who turned up last week at the Halloween party. So we often use this kind of phrase when we're talking about, yeah, they turned up finally. It means like you haven't seen someone in a long time. So we often will use this when somebody shows up out of nowhere that you haven't seen in a long time. So you might say, oh yeah, like my friend from high school turned up at this party I was at on the weekend. So that means something a little different. That means they showed up unexpectedly.
Is it synonym of show up?
Yeah,
This word
you can use them.
Okay.
You can use them, but turned up tends to be used when you haven't seen someone or something in a long time. So it's about timing.
Unexpectedly.
Yeah, it's like not expected, or it's been a really long time since you saw them last. That type of thing.
Okay.
Okay.
It's clear. It's more clear right now.
Okay, good.
Wash up, to clean one's hand and face. I wash up.
Yep, exactly.
I wash up before lunch. Go wash up. One hands. I think I can use this word for my face.
Yep.
Wash. I wash up my face or hands.
So we only really use this when it's like an instruction, or you're saying, okay, let me wash up. So it means let me take a break to go wash my hands before dinner. Or your parents might tell you, go wash up before dinner, or go wash up before lunch. So you usually only say, I wash my face or I wash my hands, but wash up means to do both of those things usually.
Okay. Then, for example, if I say like this, I wash my hands up. My hands up.
Nope. So washing up, nope. It would
Both
be,
of them, I think.
yeah, so you have to have both of them. So you wouldn't say, so you'd say, I need to wash up, or I'm washing up before dinner.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
And that's really the only time we use this. And it's more of a parents things. Or like after you get off from work, you might say, okay, wait, let me wash up and then we can talk about this. So like you would use it usually like when you get home from work or when you're about to go eat something. Those are usually the only two times typically that you'll use this. Or some people use this before prayer because again, like let me wash up before we pray. So that's something that sometimes people will use it for as well.
Yeah, my friend, you should wash up to protect yourself. To protect yourself.
Yeah.
From the virus.
Yeah.
I can say this.
Yeah, you can. All right. So what's this? Dialogue. Okay.
Dialogue.
Liam is watching TV. His brother Nathan joins him. So do you want to be Liam or Nathan?
You can start.
Why do these like characters look so crazy? Look at their eyes. It's disturbing.
It's disturbing.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Are you seriously watching this soap opera? Can I change the channel?
Sure, go ahead. I wasn't even watching that.
Yeah, right.
Why are you home? Anyway, aren't you supposed to be at university?
I don't have any lectures because some students are protesting at the campus again. You should watch the news sometime instead of those TV shows that you pretend not to like.
Oh, right. I heard about those protests. Have you been there? What are you doing exactly?
Not much. They're just hanging around campus, waiting for the dean to turn up. Anyways, I'm getting hungry. Should we go out? Should we go eat out? We could go to the Italian place across the street.
Sure, let's go. I just need to wash up first.
Okay.
Okay.
So there's your phrasal verb
I
in
want to switch on
action.
the roles.
Pardon?
to understand better. I want to switch on roles.
Okay, let's switch roles.
Switch roles.
Okay.
Okay. I might be Nathan.
You're Nathan. Yep.
Okay. I was just watching this soap opera. Can I change the channel?
Sure, go ahead. You know I wasn't even watching it.
Yeah, right.
Why are you home anyway? Aren't you supposed to be at university?
I don't have any lectures because some students are protesting at the campus again. You should watch the news sometimes instead of those TV shows that you pretend to not like.
Pretend, yep.
Okay.
Right. I heard about those protesters. Have you been there? What are they doing exactly?
Not much. They're just hanging around the campus, waiting for the dean to turn up. Anyway, I'm getting hungry. Should we go eat out? Should we go eat out? We could go to that Italian place across the street.
Sure, let's go. I just need to wash up first.
Okay.
Very good.
How was the reading?
It was good. Yeah, you did a really good job of that. What do you think? Do you think this made it a little bit more clear in terms of how they were using the phrasal verbs, or what do you think about that?
95% clear. It was 95% clear.
Okay. What was the 5% that was not clear?
Nothing. Second part. For the dean to turn up.
Okay. Waiting for the dean to turn up.
Mm-hmm.
So the dean of the school is going to be the person that runs the school. So they're the head person at the school. And so they were waiting for the dean to turn up, so to come to the school to tell them to stop protesting.
Okay.
Yeah. Because they wanted the dean to hear their message.
Dean to turn up.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Anything else?
No.
Okay.
There's not.
All right. Read the passage aloud with your teacher. Ready for dinner.
Let me read it.
Sure.
Tina wanted to have a meal with her boyfriend, Josh. So she made plans for them to eat out. Josh told her that he might come home late because he had a lot of work to do. But Tina went ahead with her plan and made a reservation for 8 p.m. At 7 p.m. Tina was ready. She washed up, got dressed, and put on makeup. So she was just hanging around the house, waiting for Josh to turn up. Half an hour passed when Josh finally arrived. Ready, honey? He asked as he walked through the door. There was no reply, so he entered the living room only to see that Tina was all dressed up but deeply asleep.
Wow, that's a bad situation. So
I don't know.
So do you have any questions about this passage? Are there any areas of this passage that you weren't clear on?
I need to go through a little bit. Go through or go over?
Go over
I think
it.
go over. I need to go over it a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, now I got it.
Yeah, it's funny, right?
I focused on pronunciation while I reading.
Yep.
While I was reading it, when I checked, then I understood all of them.
Got it. Excellent.
Okay.
Okay, fill in the blanks with the correct phrasal verbs to complete the dialogue. All right.
Oh,
Liam and Haruto are at Liam's place. They talk about Haruto's date.
Okay.
So,
So
Haruto, I'm going to make you be Haruto. Because you get to fill in the blanks.
I have to be Haruto right now.
So, Haruto, how did your date go last night?
Don't even ask. She never. Okay. I need to analyze.
Yeah.
Analyze that. I was hanging around. I think second one is hanging around.
Yeah.
I was hanging around that coffee shop for an hour waiting for her. Came and how and she texted
But she never
me.
came. There's your clue for number 1.
Yeah. Okay.
It's your favorite
then,
phrasal verb.
Never came. Then she never turned up.
Yes. You got it.
Yeah. Okay. She didn't arrive in. Right?
Yeah. She didn't show up.
She didn't show up.
Mhm.
Yes. Well, please go.
Oh, you've got to finish this one.
Said something urgent came up, so she couldn't come.
Okay. Well, I'm sure she was telling the truth. You could ask her out again.
I don't think so. I was so embarrassed. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Oh, come on. It's not such a big deal. You need to cheer up. Let's go. What do you think?
Okay. I'm thinking. I'm taking you to Chinese restaurants. Okay. Let's go eat out.
Very
Because
good.
she want his friends go to the restaurant with him.
Excellent. So let's go eat out. I'm taking you to that new Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, there's a tip. Chinese restaurant is a tip.
Exactly.
Okay, I just need to wash up. First, washed up or wash up?
Wash up.
Yes, I need to. I need to wash up first. And then we can go. Can I use your bathroom?
Sure.
Go ahead.
Very good.
Okay.
All right. And here's what's funny though. So this is the answer pool. Okay, that's not the right answers though. They didn't put them in order. Okay, good. All right, fill in the blanks with the phrasal verbs to complete the sentences.
Let's eat out tonight. I don't feel like cooking.
Great.
Okay. It's raining, so I don't think we should go for a walk tonight. How about we just blah 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 at my place instead and watch a movie or something? Okay, let me think about it. We just hanging around at my place and watch a movie or something.
So it would be just hang around, but yes, that is correct.
Yeah. Because because it is raining. They don't want to go to somewhere. Normally they wanted to go somewhere, but they didn't because of the rain.
Exactly.
Because of rain.
I don't like going out in the rain much either, so I can understand that.
I don't like either.
Yeah.
I was in such a hurry this morning. I just dressed up, washed up, I think. Washed up, and I had to run out. I didn't have enough time to eat.
Good.
Thank you. She turned up late again. I'm furious with her. I'm angry with her.
Yep.
Furious, angry.
Yep.
Okay. All I did today was the house and hanging around the house and watch TV.
Was hang around the house.
With hanging around the house.
No ing, just hang. All I did was hang. Because it's not a continuous action. All I did was it's completed. So.
Okay. I didn't realize it. Thank you for your correcting.
Yeah, no problem.
Wash up before you eat. I'll blah 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 and make myself some coffee. Okay. Honestly, I didn't. Okay, I can find the correct answer.
Let's look at the pool again.
Okay. Can I see the sentence again? Okay. Make myself some coffee. Okay. I'll eat. No. I'll go ahead. Maybe it might be possible.
Yeah. Why do you say go ahead?
I'm not sure, but it's looked like so close.
Yeah.
I'll
go ahead is correct. Go ahead is correct.
Yeah.
But the reason that I'm asking is if you can identify why you're choosing it, then it'll be easier to choose the next time.
Yeah, because he might be working at for example, someone.
Yeah.
And is he, and he is working a place, and he was working at a place, and he stopped, and he was talking with a friend of his. He how could say, not his.
Yeah, with a friend of his. Yeah, that was correct.
A friend of his.
Yep.
Okay. He will continue working and make himself some coffee.
Right. And it's kind of like we have this expression in English, like, I'll help myself to a cup of coffee, or coffee, sorry. So we often use these statements kind of interchangeably, where we're saying like, I'll go ahead and do this, or I'll help myself.
I'll help myself to
a cup of coffee. And we often use this kind of like, or I'll go ahead and make myself some coffee. You often use this when you're at someone else's house or at work, where it's not your space, which is why you feel the need to announce what you're about to do, because you never say, well, I'm going to go ahead and make myself some coffee. There's no need to say that in your own house, but in somebody else's house or is their space, you would often have this conversation out loud.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
My favorite place to go out is Johnny's restaurant. Johnny.
Go out, or what's the one we just? Well, there's the, instead of go, what's the word you're looking?
Around. Hang around.
You could say hang around. Yeah, absolutely. Or you could even use eat out.
Eat out or
hang around. They both are correct.
Hang around. Okay. Although there were some issues, they decided to turn up with the plan.
that could be the answer. There's another answer that could be as well.
Okay. There were some issues. There were some issues. They decided to go ahead with the plan.
Yep, exactly.
They decided to continue with the plan.
Yep. Exactly. All right, now it's your turn. You get
We
to
have
create some
14 minutes
sentences with your phrasal verbs. And you do have 4 minutes, but as we chatted about, our reservation ends in a few minutes, but I do have an opening, I think. Hold on. What time is it right now?
Okay.
Let me double check my schedule.
If you have over 30 minutes, we can pass another conversation.
No, actually I don't. I only have the 12 minutes that we have left. I thought someone had canceled, but no. Sorry.
Okay. No, it's okay.
We'll just have to have another class another day.
Yeah. And I like your style, honestly. And we can continue other lessons, but it depends on my working time because my schedule is a little bit different because of my hospital, and if the school will start,
Sure.
my schedule will change again. That's
Right.
why when I am available, I'll book a reservation with you, and
Sure,
we
yeah.
will continue.
It's all good. Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I'm flexible and I'm on Cambly a lot, so
Yeah.
you'll find a spot.
Actually, I can, if I can ask you, I can ask to you, for example, I am available for tomorrow 9 p.m., for example, and I can ask to you. Can I ask to you about that?
Yeah, what's your current time where you are right now? Is it 9:49 p.m.?
In this time, yeah.
It's the same time.
What time is it there?
It's noon. It's like lunchtime, like 12 p.m.
Yeah,
12:49.
I am available 11 a.m. Yeah, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. generally.
In my time zone, you mean?
Yeah, in your time.
So I can take a look at tomorrow and see if I'm booked or not. But
no, I'm working. I'm going to work tomorrow. I said as an example.
Yeah. I usually am online during this time slot. Yep. Not every single day of the week, but usually I am. And I've added you to my regulars so that you can see my full schedule instead of just part of my schedule.
Yeah, I'll check your schedule again. Do we have another reservation? No, we don't have another reservation, but I'll check it out.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay. We can speak freely.
Okay. You're like, I do not want to create sentences with phrasal verbs. I hear you.
Okay.
It's fine. We will shut it.
Okay. No. We can continue like this. It's up to you.
Oh, I don't care. It's up to you. This
You
is your class. This is your class. You can have the class as you wish. I'm not super strict.
What I am going to say. Anyway, I don't know. Yeah. I like this platform, and it's not only for lesson, and also I enjoying oh, I forgot. Yeah, I like doing lessons.
Yeah.
And I want to continue for 2 years more.
Nice. Yeah.
What do you think for 2 years? If I will continue like this?
I think if you continue like this, you'll be quite, excuse me. I think if you continue
Oh,
like
that's
this, you'll be quite fluent. I think the key thing that I hear from students is that sometimes they reach a point where they know they're not really progressing, where they've reached kind of this like plateau of learning. And my suggestion to you is to change up what you're doing when you hit that point. Because I see this a lot where students have been on Cambly or they've been like learning English for like a year, 2 years, and then they just keep doing the same things. So they might be reading like Ingu articles, or they might be, you know, having free conversation, but they're not adding any layers of complexity to what they're doing. So then they get stuck at the same level. So like I have one student right now that I've been working with, and he had been on Cambly for I think 2 years prior to meeting me, and his level had totally plateaued. And so what I did was really challenged him through like really complex articles, words that he'd never seen before. And he tells me every class, this is so difficult. And I'm like, that's the point. But then the
Yeah.
other day he said to me, because we were working together about 3 months, he said, actually, I had to read something at work the other day and I understood it. So although I said everything was so difficult, it's actually helping me understand things more. And I think that's the thing that we kind of avoid when we're learning a language. We want to know 100% of what we're reading, or maybe 10% we don't know, and that's comfortable. But it's actually also really good to immerse yourself in the language and to challenge yourself. So I highly recommend like the watching TV series, listening to TED Talks or podcasts and these kinds of things, because it will really help you to be more exposed to English, particularly if you're planning to live, you know, in another country that's English speaking, because I think that's the thing that most students find equally challenging to speaking is understanding slang and phrasal verbs and idioms. Like these are the most challenging things about the language. Do you know where you would want to live? Like what culture? Like are you thinking about US? Are you thinking about UK or Australia, or what are you thinking?
Could you? I understood all of them, but I missed a little bit
No
in the last
problem.
question.
Um,
In your last question,
yeah, so
Australia.
yeah, are you thinking about moving to Australia or the US or the UK? Like, which culture are you thinking you might want to move to?
I usually prefer watching American movies
Mm.
and also British movies. I like.
Mhm.
Have you ever watched The Last Kingdom or Vikings or
No,
Breaking Bad?
I've seen a couple episodes of Vikings. Breaking Bad, I didn't watch so much, but my husband got really into that. But it was a good series. Yeah, so that's a very American show, Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I like both. I like both American and British movies.
Okay.
And learning a language is also learning a culture,
Yes.
learning a different country's culture.
Yes. That's why I was asking you that question, because I think that one of the greatest tools for teaching is watching like the cinema or the TV of a country. So depending on where you want to move to, it can be really beneficial to you to watch that country's cinema, because it tells you a lot about their culture, their language, how they like to speak. Now, there are some shows, and this happens a lot. There's a lot of shows that we have in the US that are not like people actually speak. So it's not a good example if you're trying to learn the language from it. For example, there's a TV series called Modern Family. It's like a comedy series, and I have lots of students who say, "Oh, I love Modern Family," or "I love The Office," and I'm like, "That's nice for entertainment, but please don't learn English from these shows, because if you start talking like the people on these shows, people will look at you like you're a weirdo, because it's very scripted and it's very much about timing and comedy. It's not actually how people talk in real life." So I
Yeah.
get nervous when people are watching these kinds of shows. Fine for entertainment, not fine for language. Or I had a student tell me he learned English from watching Breaking Bad. And I said, "Okay, I'm glad you
What did
learned
he
how
tell
to
you?
speak." I'm like, "I'm glad you learned how to speak like a criminal, but let's maybe change up your shows. Maybe let's watch some Grey's Anatomy so you can learn some medical terminology." Something at a
What
higher
did he tell
level.
you? What did he say to
He
you?
laughed.
Said
He
to you?
laughed because he knew he had learned all this bad language and swearing and all these things. You can't use this as business English. No, this will not help you in the office.
Yeah, actually, I prefer watching medical videos on YouTube sometimes if I have a time. And for example, I listed them.
Oh, wow.
I can show you one of them. Where is it? Yeah, it is here. Khan Academy, I think do you know it?
Khan Academy is great.
Very nice platform.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
In a movie theater, you're watching a really, really long movie. You finished your entire bucket of popcorn, you guzzle down giant soda,
Kidneys.
and all of a sudden you have to pee.
And
to make matters
if
worse,
I finished all of them, it will help. It will help to me to
Yes.
for in my field.
Absolutely. And there's also courses that you can take on Coursera that you don't have to pay for. They're free, like the Khan Academy, that you can audit. And there are some medical ones. And what I like about the Coursera format, I don't remember if the Khan Academy does this, but Coursera, the audio actually has all of the text, and it highlights the text as it's being read out loud during the videos. So
Wow.
so you're listening and reading at the same time, and this can be super helpful for expanding vocabulary, also for sentence tone and structure when you're reading different sentences. So I recommend a lot to my students to take something on Coursera they're interested in, because it's free. Why not? And then it'll help them also with their English and training their ear for listening.
I subscribe. I cannot pronounce this word. Subscribe, right?
Yeah, you can subscribe to it too.
Subscribe.
Yeah, if you subscribe to Coursera though, they charge you monthly. Ah, there you go. You've got Coursera already.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. It's great. Or do you have edX?
No.
edX
No,
is good too. Or Udemy.
edX. I subscribe also. Of course, I know. I have an account on Udemy.
Yeah, also it's excellent, as you know.
Very nice courses in there.
Yeah,
Very
edX is
cheap.
good too.
Yeah, very cheap to buy them.
Yeah, exactly, which is good because sometimes they're very high quality for a very low price. But Hamza, it was really awesome. Very awesome to chat with you today. We're out of time for our class, but so nice to meet you, and I hope that we'll have a class again soon.
Okay, you too. Take care of yourself and
Okay, you too. Stay safe. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Stay safe. Take care.